Alright, welcome to the stream. So today on the menu we have first, this is something that I wanted to do a video on, which was talk about how I think that Modern Horizons 1, I guess we should call it 1 now, was actually a big success as a set. And it gets a lot of flack for things that it shouldn't, but I'll get onto that later. It's something that I wanted to do a video on, but as I said in my previous stream, in case you missed that, go watch it, I guess. I'm not gonna reiterate all of it, but essentially today I'm going to be talking about Modern Horizons, and this is something that I've wanted to cover before, again in the form of a video, but since that's not happening, I want to discuss it here today. I'm doing this here today. So why today? Because Wizards, they gave us their schedule for this year. Let me see if I can find it. So earlier today they released a schedule of this year's releases, and I have it right here. Okay, so basically they gave us some info on Strixhaven. Jesus, this is School of Mages. I don't know if you can see that well. Oh, you can't because I'm not showing it. Okay, here it is. Strixhaven, School of Mages. They gave us some more details, like when previews start, when it gets released on digital media, the pre-release weekend, and then the actual tabletop release, which nowadays is less relevant but still important. But then they have this little segment talking about Modern Horizons, saying that it's a follow-up to Modern Horizons 1. They say the similar wanted to delight players excited by higher power level cards, and of course this sentence got memed immediately, because people love to hate Modern Horizons, but I honestly don't think that the set was not only not bad, the set was actually one of the best sets for Modern's health in quite a while, I have to say. By the way, they also talked about their other sets coming. This is the timeline for 2021. Looks okay. Time Spiral Remastered looks awesome. Then this weird double set. It's kind of like them releasing two sets in one. I guess they'll be smaller, is what I would guess. Either way. So let's talk about Modern Horizons 1. And first of all, and of course I have my little notepad here. That's how I roll. First of all, let's discuss the misses. So obviously let's get it over it. Hogak. And Hogak was a miss. But why was it a miss? I think people love to jump the gun 2 years after the set was released that Hogak was a big miss. The card was obviously too powerful. They should have seen it. Yada yada yada. But let's be real. When Hogak, I'm actually gonna open Hogak here. When Hogak was spoiled, pretty much everyone said that it wasn't good. And sure, some people might have looked at it and said, "Well, no, this card is actually good." When I saw this card, I thought, well, Dredge might play 1 because it's something to do with your mana after you go wild and you still can't win. They now have Ox, so I'm not sure if Dredge would play Hogak. Probably still the 1. But what ended up happening was that Hogak spawned a combo with Altar of Dementia. Also in the same set, but I don't think that this card is to blame. This is an interesting card. It has no reason not to exist in Modern. And Bridge from Below. Okay, so there was a combo with these 3 cards, which consisted on you mill yourself a lot, you play Altar, then you cast Ogak from the graveyard, you mill yourself 8, then Bridge starts making tokens, then you get to a point where you can have more than 60 power on the board, so you can mill your opponent. So it's a turn 2 combo. The issue with it was that it worked pretty well with its secondary beatdown plan. And yeah, that was a problem. So they ended up banning Bridge from Below. A lot of people complain about this ban, but let's be real. This card reads, I don't do anything if I'm cast. You need me in the graveyard to do stuff. And in the graveyard, I do broken stuff. Like, I generate free value. So basically this card, I think that this card exists in 2 forms. It's either unplayable, which it was for many years, or it's broken, which it was for like 2 weeks, maybe 3. So they ended up banning this pretty darn fast. I can actually check it, because people love to bash this too. When was this card banned? So Bridge from Below was banned on July 8th. Modern Horizons came out June 14th. So that's 3 weeks of... And sure, oh, but it comes online a bit earlier. Sure, whatever. 1 month. They took 1 month to ban this. But what you don't realize that back then, ban announcements were still scheduled. So they basically banned this at the first opportunity they got. They didn't bullshit you saying, oh no, we need more data, or like saying, oh, we want to see if the meta adapts. No, they recognized it as a problem right away, and they banned it at the first opportunity. And I think it's the correct ban, because Altar is an interesting card. Hogak is an interesting card. Even if it's broken, I think the text is quite interesting. And Bridge from Below is just broken. Like, there's no way this card is ever like in a sweet spot of being viable but not broken. Okay, but after that ban, what ended up happening was that Ogak was cast on turn 2 too consistently, and the secondary plan of the deck was still really good. I don't think that people that claim that, oh, it could play through hate really well, that's kind of bullshit. It played through hate the same way that Dredge does, which is to say you mull to your anti-graveyard hate and then just beat opponents that mull to 3 looking for graveyard hate instead of executing their own plan. But the issue with Hogak wasn't that it could play through graveyard hate, was that it was too consistent. But again, I'll I'll say this and I'll defend this position. This line of text and this line of text make the card really interesting. I think the problem is that it has hybrid mana on the casting cost here, which means that it's actually easier to cast than one would think. And 5 here is actually quite low. So yeah, the card ended up coming out way too fast. Playing this on turn 2 is very hard for some decks to beat. Especially because the secondary plan of this deck made it so that if you could answer Hogak, which wasn't too hard, you know, Path exists in the format. But it made that this card just died to Path. Like, I think that a creature, well, Titan also only dies to Path, I guess, but that deck's much less consistent. That's the issue here. Either way, what I want to say is that this card's very interesting. Maybe it was too cheap. Maybe Trample was a bit over the top. Like, maybe it should have, I don't know, maybe Menace would be a better way of giving it some evasion. But I think that this card's very easy to balance. You just maybe make it black-green so that you can cast it with any random crappy creature you have on board. Maybe add 1 or 2 extra mana here, and the card is fine. So I genuinely think that this was an interesting concept, and I'm gonna write it here. Interesting concept, but numbers too low. Made deck too consistent. Or rather, numbers too low was easy to cast early. I guess that was the problem, right? This was cast earlier than it should have. Alright, so that's miss 1. What's the other miss? Arkham's Astrolabe. Again, a card that went pretty much unnoticed in Modern. I think this card immediately exploded in Pauper. It was banned pretty quickly too. I don't know when. Like, I don't play Pauper, I don't care. In Modern, it took a bit. Because after this, so first we had the Ogak era. So people weren't playing Astrolabe. Then we had the Modern Wild West, because Stoneforge was unbanned, everyone was playing Stoneforge, everyone was happy, doing their own thing. Kind of like the current state of Modern, where everyone's just doing their thing. And that was the state of Modern back then, so Astrolabe also wasn't very played. Then Oko came out, and that was a thing. Then after Oko we had Once Upon a Time. So Astrolabe also didn't have much space. Actually, Astrolabe played in the Oko deck. But it wasn't the all-star of that one, because that was a 2-color deck. And it wasn't abusing things that much. And then what else did we have after Once Upon a Time? After Once Upon a Time, Uro and Field started to take over, I guess. Were there any bans between those? I don't think so. Either way, Astrolabe took a while to see heavy Modern play. But the card's really good. What this card says is that basically you get to fix your mana for almost free, right? Because this doesn't cost you a card because it cantrips. So it's like this is a cantrip. It's effectively a cantrip, but it's a cantrip that fixes your mana. And what that allowed was for decks to play 3 and 4 colors without the downside of being either inconsistent or getting punished by aggro. Because if you get to fetch like only basics and get to play a bunch of non-shock lands, and then one of these fixes your mana perfectly to cast, I don't know, Renin 6 into Archmage's Charm, you're in a pretty fine spot. This also enabled Icefang Quaddle to become a real card, which was kind of a problem too. Icefang Quaddle is really good. Of course, the downside is that you need to turn it on. This made turning it on really easy. So I think this card just pushed too many buttons. However, I have to defend this card. Again, why am I defending a card that's obviously broken? So broken that it's banned in 3 out of the 5 formats it could be legal in, let's be real. So why is it so good? Or rather, why am I defending it? Because this card existed for 2 mana, right? I don't know the name of the card, but I know that this exact text exists for 2 mana. So I think that pushing that down to 1 is an interesting experiment. It's an interesting design push, right? You're picking up an existing card that doesn't see any play whatsoever. You're making it one cheaper. Sure, you could argue that that's not okay. Like, look at Lightning Strike and Lightning Bolt. That's one cheaper, but like, that's interesting, right? You picked up Lightning Bolt. You made it 1 mana more expensive to see if it would be too bad. Surprise! It wasn't that bad. Like, the card still dominated Standard, and it's still an all-star in Pioneer, for example. Maybe not an all-star, but it's a really good card in Pioneer. And here, it's the same concept, but the other way around. You're taking a mana from a card and see if it's too good. And to be honest, when they banned Astrolabe, like, it was the best deck of the format in Modern, but it wasn't that obscenely broken, right? It was just maybe a bit too good, but it wasn't on Uro levels of good. That's what I mean here. I think this, again, interesting push. Using push of an unplayable card, but too efficient. I think that's a fair description. Okay, so I've talked about the bans, the cards that I think that were misses. I might have one more to add here, but I think it's okay to start with the bans first. So already, like, am I crazy by thinking about it like this? Like, Hogak is an interesting card. It's just too cheap, is my take. And Astrolabe's also a very interesting card. They picked a 2-mana unplayable card, made it 1 mana. I think Modern Horizons was the perfect set to do that. Ended up being too good. Okay, as soon as they realized that it was actually too good, they banned it. Like, the card was dominating Modern, but not in a way that Modern was in an unhealthy state, in my opinion. And honestly, in many people's opinion, I think that a lot of people were a bit surprised that Astrolabe was banned so early. Maybe it was the 4-color control decks playing Blood Moon that might have pushed it over the edge. Alright, now let's look at Horizons. Let's look at the entire set. And please, chat, if you disagree with any of my takes, please comment on it. But okay, let's look at it. So, and I'm thinking Modern only. Again, if a card in this set breaks Legacy, I don't care. Legacy is broken by nature. The cards in there are really strong, and you can't be designing a Modern set or a Standard set or any set with Legacy on the back of your mind. That's what I think. So I'm gonna be evaluating cards here for Modern. So this is unplayable. Astral Drift. I'm just gonna be naming hits. So is Astral Drift a hit? I know that it's super bugged on Magic Online, like so bugged that you can't genuinely play it. However, I've seen decks with it having some success, and people seem to like it enough to brew with it. So I'm gonna call it a hit. It's a card that got people to brew with it and didn't break anything. So I'm gonna call it a hit. I think that the card is definitely a hit. Then this is Limited Fodder, Ephemerate. Another great example of a good card. Is this something new or was it a reprint? It's new, okay. So I think that Ephemerate is a very interesting card. Also sees play in Modern from time to time. It's very interesting to brew around it. So I'm definitely calling it a hit. What else? Force of Virtue is kind of a meme. I want to call Generous Gift a hit because it's a color shifted beast within, and I think giving more colors that effect, I think it's a good thing. The reason that this card doesn't see play is because white as a color is mostly a secondary color, and like there aren't many decks that would want to play this effect. However, I'm gonna call it a hit. I think it's definitely a positive force on Modern. I think that Giver of Runes is a big hit. Worse than Mother of Runes, but has some upsides on it. So it has 2 toughness, and it can give protection from colorless. Can protect herself, so I think that downside is big enough, but it's still a hit. It was a positive force in Modern, in my opinion. Made creature decks, gave a boost to creature decks that was kind of needed, like especially with this set, also including Plague Engineer, which this doesn't affect, by the way, but if you're taking away from creature decks, you can give to creature decks. So this was a fine printing. This limited fodder, limited on thin ice, also a hit in my honest opinion. Card is very good. It's pseudo path / change the rocks effect. Change the rocks has the pretty serious downside that it needs to enchant a mountain, so it kind of locks you in 2 colors. This locks you in snow, which isn't really a lock because it's kind of easy to be playing snow. Ranger Captain Avia's a big hit in my opinion. Card is very healthy, has interesting effects. Like this card is just good altogether, right? I don't think it's crazy to say that. It's a tutor for CMC1. Also has that cute little activation. That's a cool. In my opinion, this is just a cool card, and I don't think anyone would disagree that this card was a hit from the set. By the way, I'm calling hits cards that are good enough to play Modern, at least good enough to brew around in Modern, but not too good that they just break the format. What else? This is mostly fodder. I kind of wanted to count Vesperlark because I love this card. It's like because it combos with Tarkin Awakener. I'm not going to include it because this sees no play. Winds of Abandon, however, that was a hit, right? It's like a path. It's like a very bad path to exile. However, it has a board wipe, a unilateral board wipe attached to it, which I think is just good enough for this to see play as a one-off in some decks, namely blue-white control. And I think it was a positive force in the format. Then we get to blue, Archmage's Charm. You know, if you're not a blue gamer, maybe you hate this card, but let's be real, the card is very well balanced. Like any good charm, it has three modes that are slightly too expensive for the 3 mana, but the versatility just makes it a very interesting card. And I think that the 3 modes here are really well designed. You have a cancel. Cancel is bad. You have a divination at instant speed, but it's still not great. And you have this Steel, which is actually relevant in Modern because of cards like Shadow and Swiftspear. But even then, it's way overcosted at 3 mana. But put them all together, wrap it up, and it's a pretty cool card. And again, if you're not a blue mage, maybe this card seems a bit overtuned, but honest to God, I think that Archmage's Charm isn't a problem, like at all. What else? What else do we have here that's... Fact or fiction came to modern in Horizons. I think it's a good card to exist. Not the strongest card, but it's pretty healthy. Okay, now Force of Negation. I'm tempted to put Force of Negation in the misses, because I genuinely think that making a format where... I hope this doesn't make too much noise when I touch the mic. I know it kinda does, but I need to see my screen, sorry. I think Force of Negation creates that notion. It kind of creates that. It kind of. Let me say this like a regular person. It pushes the format to a place where decks can either beat Force or are playing Force. I think Force of Negation is not strong enough to really make a Force format. So I'm gonna call it a hit. Also because I think that Force does have some positives, like I think that the restrictions are high enough that the card isn't too oppressive. And I kind of like that it makes some combos harder to play, like some degenerate combos harder to play. I do think that the card's a bit too cheap. So I'm gonna do it like this. Because I think that the card's a bit too cheap. I think this should never be 3 mana. The problem with this being 3 mana, that's very hard castable. Very hard castable. Is it just an overcosted negate? No, because it exiles the card. That's the crazy part about this card. Sure, the second paragraph, counter target non-creature spell, starts in a negative way. Or rather, let me say it like this. The first 2 sentences of the text make it worse than Force of Negation by a mile, by enough that I'm not worried that this card is too strong. But this last line of text and the low cost and the not losing life for some reason make this card really good. Really good. Alright, let's carry on. Let's carry on. So this is, I heard this plays Legacy, but again, I'm not talking about Legacy here. Blue had a lot of unplayable crap thrown in here, to be honest. Urza. A lot of people would claim that Urza was a miss. Personally, I think that Urza was a big hit. This card is a very interesting card design. Like, all the lines of text are very interesting card design wise, and I honestly don't think that this card's too strong. It's so not strong that it basically sees 0 play right now, even when it's even when it enables even when it enables an infinite combo, it sees no play at all. And honest to God, I think that Opal was a problem. Again, Mox Opal is one of those cards. It's either bad, like it's not really pushing any deck into being good enough, or it's actively broken. And when a card's either bad or broken, I think it's a pretty clear sign that the card isn't well balanced and maybe shouldn't be in the format. And if your argument here is that, oh, but the Mox Opal was playing my tier 4 affinity deck and it was fine there, yeah, no shit. If I play a good card in a bad deck, doesn't make the broken card less broken. Actually, if you're playing a broken card in a bad deck and that makes the deck less bad, then maybe that broken card is so broken that it can carry bad decks. That's my take on the Mox Opal ban. 100% correct, and Urza definitely earns a spot in the hit. I'm just gonna call it Urza. Also gonna include 3 dots here because I know this is a contested claim. So, like, Urza and Force are two cards that I could include in the misses. Personally, I think Force is worse for the format than Urza. I know some people would disagree. I still think Urza is such an amazing design. Like, it has an ETB, but the ETB is so negligible that it's... And sure, the token gets big fast, but like, it's not something worrying, right? You board in artifact removal against Urza, so that's fine. Or at least removal to kill Urza, so that's also fine. And if a token, like a 3/3 token, runs away with the game, like if you're keeping things in check, that token shouldn't run away with the game. The turning your artifacts into mana sources is kind of cool, to be honest. Maybe giving blue mana makes it a bit too strong. And then the ultimate is pretty fine. I think it's pretty good, pretty well balanced. It's 5 mana, and you shuffle your library first, so it's not like you can cheat out cards with this. Yeah, I would include Watcher. I've seen some fun brews with Watcher, but I don't know. I still wouldn't call it a hit. Couple Therapist was the biggest miss because it's so bad it hurts. Carrion Feeder, definitely a hit. Makes it kind of pushed Ogak into being as strong as it was, but aside from that, the card's really interesting. It can't block. It's a 1/1 for 1, which is pretty unplayable, but then it has this nice little mode where it's a free sack outlet, and it grows. It's probably the best free sack outlet, I'd say. Is that fair to say? That Carrion Feeder is the best free sack outlet? But I think it was a hit. Dead of Winter. Yeah, it's a pretty cool card. It's a board wipe that scales with the game. But it's hard to turn on fast enough for it to be really good. But I think it was a cool addition to the format. Like, it gets you out of a pinch. It scales well, which is cool. Like, I think it's seen enough play for me to call it a hit. I think the rest of the forces are just a joke. Even Force of Vigor, it's mostly a joke. Nether Spirit sees no play. Plague Engineer, insta hit. If you think that Plague Engineer was bad for the format, you are probably a tribal player that's salty about it. But here's the thing: Plague Engineer is a 2/2. If your deck can't deal with a 2/2, chances are your deck isn't well built. Like, honest to God, your deck should be able to deal with a 2/2. It's as simple as that. Like, this card is hilariously easy to kill. It's not even a 3/3. If this card were a 3/3, sure, maybe it would be too strong. But this card's really easy to just play into. Especially when this -1/-1 kinda doesn't kill too many creatures or any relevant creatures. It just makes them weaker, so you don't even lose your board. But this is definitely a hit. Sort of those effects that's nice to have in the format. I want to call Ransack the Lab a hit, unfortunately still hasn't seen enough play. Sling Gang Lieutenant, another instant hit, and I say this as a red player whose hardest decision in life is killing Lieutenant on sight just to not lose the game from random pings of life gain. But this card is Siege Gang Commander with the worst activation, but free. So I think it's interesting design. I think it's very interesting design. Smiting Helix is not played enough in my opinion. Unearth, another hit. Like, this card is just amazing to have in the format. I think it's a card that, like, it plays unfair, but not too unfair. You know, CMC 3 or less is kind of okay to be reviving. Like, push exists. So I think this is fine to exist too. Yawgmoth, an amazing card in my opinion. I honestly think that Yawgmoth was just a very interesting card to appear in the format. It's actually one of the combo decks that I was considering learning how to play, like Yawgmoth Evolution. I think it's the spiritual successor of Pod, in the way that you have like a creature toolbox that has a infinite combo to win the game. Honest to God, if you love Pod, if you want Pod in the format and you're not playing Yawgmoth Evolution, you're playing the game wrong. Then we come to red. Aria Flame. It's a nice alternative win condition in Storm decks. I think it's a good thing to have. I think, honest to God, I think that Storm decks are a good thing to have. Always nice to have those keep the meta in check. This being an enchantment means it could be strong, but like, it gives 10 life to your opponent, and it takes a while to scale. So I think this card's totally fine in terms of power level. I think it's pretty interesting design too, because this can get bounced. So there's that. What else? Heck, Firebolt sees enough play to be considered a hit. It's a sorcery shock that can be recast late game. Pretty cool. Wait, is there a difference between Geomancer's Gambit and Cleansing Wildfire? Is there like an actual difference? Because this destroys target land. Oh, Wildfire is better. Wildfire is actually better. Well, I guess it depends on if you're playing Wildfire to do it to yourself. But like, it's theoretically better because this puts the land onto the battlefield tapped, which means that if you do it on your turn, which you have to kind of, because it's a sorcery, not necessarily because the fairy exists, but if you're doing this on your turn, it means that your opponent doesn't get like a free mana to use. I've killed people with like one land up, they Assassin's Trophy it, it's my only white source, and then I tap for white, I get the mountain, I tap it for red and Boros Charm them. I've done that. And I think it's hilarious that a card designed in a modern set's weaker than a card designed for a standard set. But again, they printed this, hilariously unplayable. Oh, but it's land, it's like a Field of Ruin, right? It even replaces itself. No, hilariously unplayable. This is just bad. The reason it's bad, honest to God, is that it doesn't outrace Tron. I think that's about it. I think that's why Wildfire is good. It's because it can always outrace Tron. Like, it can always come online before Tron, meaning that this is effective Tron hate, and it's a really good card. It's the same thing as earlier, right? You pick up a bad card that costs 1 too much mana, you reduce the cost and see if it's good, bad, or broken. What else do we have here? Goblin Engineer. I don't know. I don't think it's easy enough play. It's like sometimes plays. Urza. Okay. Goblin Matron was a big hit. It was one of two cards that goblins needed to become a real deck, the other one being Goblin Ringleader, which came in core set 20. But Matron was definitely a good card from Modern Horizons. This can get some hate, but I think that Lava Dart was an amazing card to come into Modern. It pushed Prowess to become a real deck. Like, honest to God, Lava Dart was the card that made Prowess become a real deck. And it still is a really important card in the deck. I think that's a hit. Magmatic Sinkhole has seen more play, but I think that the card's definitely a hit. It's just 5 damage to creatures is really good in control shells. For essentially 1 or 2 mana. I'm gonna include Pashalik Mons here. I think that the card is like one of the best legendary goblins to be playing in the format. Because the activated ability is really cool. Its first line of text means that it's always kind of relevant. I don't know, I'd call it a hit. It's definitely a card that it always plays goblins. Pillage, a definite hit. It was one of... So, Ponza was bad before 2018. Then it got Seasoned Pyromancer, Pillage, and Clothes, and the deck became really good. Because those 3 cards are just so good. They do a lot of things. And they come off of Utopia Sprawl. I think Pillage was a good addition. This is land disruption that hits artifacts, meaning that it's like having somewhat of a sideboard slot in the main. It's pretty amazing. Seasoned Pyromancer. Personally, I think that Seasoned Pyromancer is one of the best red cards ever printed, and it hits the between bad and broken. Seasoned Pyromancer is in the perfect spot, in my opinion. The card's really good, but it's very flavorful in terms of red card advantage. It's not really card advantage, except in very specific situations. And I don't know, I think that the card is just a big hit in terms of design. Do I want to include Shenanigans here? Probably not. Shenanigans has Dredge. It's not a miss. It's definitely not a hit. Throes of Chaos, still gonna see some play in my opinion, but not right now. Collector Roof. I think that it was a pretty good effect to appear on green, staple to a creature, very flavorful, you know. White and green have this kind of mirroring abilities, but green often puts him on sticks. White also puts him on sticks. I don't know. I like Oof. I think Oof was interesting design. It's like a Stony Silence in a relevant color, but it dies to removal. Crashing Footfalls. I don't know. I don't think it's good enough to call it a hit. And this ever only comes out if it's getting cheated out. Then we have Mr. Strictly Better reserve list card. Kinda not, right? What's the other one called? I discovered this the other day. The Ranged Hermit, which is reserved list, has Echo. What does this card have? Oh, so you make 4. Okay, so they aren't... It's like an homage, but I think that the ability is different enough to make this interesting, yet different. This is a cool card, man. It makes 4. Does it also make 4? Yeah. Damn. Yeah, this is a really good, cool card. Sad it doesn't see any play. Force of Vigor, I'm gonna call it a hit. Like, it's a 4, so yeah, yada yada yada, cards free and stuff, but I think it's a a hit. It makes it so some decks basically don't just scoop to some effects. Hex Drinker, definitely a hit, and we're seeing that today in John Shadow, where Hex Drinker is an important part of it, because Lava Dart and Ren and 6 have been seeing less play. There's one more. I kind of don't want to call Scale Up a hit because it's infect, but Scale Up, kind of an interesting card, you know. It's sorcery. If this were an instant, it would be an instant broken card, but this being a sorcery means that you have to play it proactively, which makes it kind of counterable in terms of sequencing. Wall of Blossoms. Well, there's more green than I thought. Wall of Blossoms, pretty good addition. A color shifted Wall of Omens, which was already a color shifted Wall of Blossoms, because I know that this is an older card. When is it from? What's this? What's this set? I don't know. Stronghold. This looks like it would be called Stronghold because of the symbol. Yep. Pretty cool card. I think it's a hit in my book. Weather the Storm. As much as I hate it when Midrange and Control plays this card, I have to agree that it's an interesting card to exist. Well, maybe not. I think that this was just not interesting design, to be honest. I'm not gonna include it in the misses, but not in the hits either. Call it red player bias. Eladamri's Call, definite hit. Like it's a tutor, but not a broken tutor. It only tutors for creatures. I think it's in 2 colors. I think it's a pretty fine card to print. Covered Hogak, Icefang Quaddle. So when I was talking about Astrolabe, I did mention Quaddle as being too good. I think Quaddle is a bit too strong if there's ever a 1-mana snow permanent. And Kaldheim actually surprised me. I was sure that Kaldheim would have brought I was sure that Kaldheim would bring a 1-mana snow permanent that would make Quaddle like really good again. I'm happy it didn't, because I think that if Quaddle is too easy to enable, then the card's kind of a problem. It makes every creature deck have a very big obstacle to go through, because this cantrip, so it's like removal that cantrips for 2 mana. It's pretty good. Kaisgal, another hit. As much as I don't like playing against this card, I think it is a big hit. Like, the card's very versatile, does a lot. Just an all-round hit in my opinion. I think Skelemental was also a good hit. They made a better Blightning, basically, but on a body that dies to a fart. Interesting fusion between Blightning and Ball of Lightning. That was a pretty cool design. Munitions Expert, another goblin that pushed goblins into being a real deck. And I think this card's Expert. How do you write Expert? I think this was pretty interesting design. Like, it's giving it flash maybe might have been too much, but in terms of pushing, you know, I don't. Of course, that flash is what makes it playable, but I don't know. I like the card. I think it was a positive force in Modern. Definitely calling Soul Herder a hit. Card has definitely pushed people to brew with it. Unsettled Mariner also hit in my opinion. Card gave every tribe a crappy Thalia, but a crappy Thalia is better than no Thalia. I think that's a cool thing to exist. Renin 6. Definitely a positive thing in the format, in my opinion. Well, you could call it a miss. I've heard this argument before. Renin 6 is a miss because it's obviously good. Like, when you design this, you're not making like a niche card, an interesting card. You're just making a good card, right? Like a boring good card. So that's the argument to call this a miss. In my opinion, the uptick is bad. I think that the uptick in control is okay. I think the uptick in mid-range is not great. And I think that if you play this in any deck that isn't a slower deck, you're shooting yourself, not even in the foot, like in the face. This card doesn't do enough for it to be considered a miss, in my opinion, in terms of design. Do we have any artifacts here that should be talked about? No. Okay, then I'm gonna include for lands. So we have the Horizon Cycle, definite hit. Like cards that cantrip, lands that cantrip are very interesting in my opinion, and should exist in every color. Cycle lands, so these motherfuckers. Another interesting ad. I don't think a lot of decks play them. I don't think many decks should, but I think it was an interesting addition to the set. And Prismatic Vista. Actually, I'm gonna cut the cycle lands just because they don't see that much play. Prismatic Vista. It's like a fetch, but not really. And that's it, right? I don't. Honest to God, I think Flusterstorm not good enough for this for to be considered a hit. So let's do a head count, yeah. So. So this is 44 hits. So in Modern Horizons, we have 44 cards that were from very good to nichely good for Modern. We have 2 misses. So 44 hits and 2 misses. You know what that is? You know what that is? Holy shit. Sorry about that. Scared the crap out of me. Some pop-up in my internet window. So this is a success rate, like, of pushed cards of 95%. So you're telling me that a set with a 95% of hits is a bad set? You're crazy. And the misses were interesting designs as well. So all in all, what I wanted to say with this is that Modern Horizons was a big hit in terms of being a set, injected directly into Modern. It was a big hit. It brought us a lot of cards that we love right now. Like, on a more serious note, like Giver, Captain, Charm, Force, what else? Pyromancer, Hexdrinker, Ren 6, like, these are the most popular. Like, those alone are enough to justify these, I think. Like, these happened, sure. They were not only corrected fast enough, but they were also interesting designs to exist, in my honest opinion. And I think that if you disagree, tell me why, because I'd like to understand how Hogak is a boring concept. Because it's a card that you can only cast from your graveyard, but and you can't use mana for it, so you have to pay its alternative costs, which is very restricting deck building wise. It's just that Modern has enough tools to make that happen too consistently. And then Astrolabe, maybe a little bit less interesting because it's just pushing an already existing card, but even then, I think it's a good thing to do. Like pushing bad cards and seeing where they fall is a good thing in my opinion. Because like it freshens up the game while not really freshening it up, because you're just reprinting cards but better. It's like if Magic could have power level erratas. It's definitely good for balancing. It's just kind of awful in terms of paper play, which to be honest is the best part about Magic, is that you have physical cards you can flick through. Alright, this was my analysis on Modern Horizons. Please tell me what you think, what you disagree with. I'll be sure to answer with my own point of view. We don't have to agree, to be honest. But I kind of want to hear, like, if you think that Modern Horizons was a miss after all of this, I kind of want to know why. Alright, now that's done with, let's go to the cool thing, which is playing Magic. And today, just drink some water. Today, we have something a bit different than my usual burn shenanigans. So I've said this before. I want to be better at Magic, but not like fuck. How should I say this? I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I want to have one deck of each archetype that I feel comfortable with playing. And so I made a list of decks that I wanted to play on. I didn't. Okay. We can make that now. I'm gonna make a list of decks that I want to play on each archetype. So aggro. We always have burn. Then mid-range, I have Ponza, which I think it's very hard for Ponza to be bad, in my honest opinion. I just think that sideboards need to be a little more focused. And then big mana, I chose Amulet Titan, because I think it's a pretty interesting big mana deck with its toolbox compartment. For control, I don't think, like, I still haven't chosen a control deck. Like, personally, I see myself playing a blue-red or Jeskai variant, but here's my issue with it. I don't think playing one of these without force is just wrong. And it's sure, if you're a budget player and you like control, you play it without force first, but I don't know, I kind of don't want to build half a deck and practice that. So control is, for now, is empty as an archetype. And then in combo, we talked about this last stream. I talked about playing Yawgmoth. Some people in chat suggested that Burgi Storm was really cool, and I also looked into that. Goblins is an option. Since then, because of Amulet, I tried out Scapeshift. I really liked it. I made some adjustments to the list. namely adding these two blokes, which I think add a lot to the deck. So maybe combo will be Scape Shift. So I'm gonna say Goblins or Scape Shift. I think I prefer Goblins over Yawgmoth, just because I think I prefer the aggro side of Goblins than the weird side of Yawgmoth, like the value side of Yawgmoth. And Scape Shift is more balls to the wall, but honest to God, I think that the deck's very easy to pick up. But I think that the deck can be interesting to play. Again, I want a deck of each archetype that I know how to play, and not only do I have pieces for this already, but Jesus fucking Christ, my voice. Okay, so I think Scape Shift's a nice option. Just that. Don't judge me too harshly. Alright, but today is Ponza Day. Today is Ponza Day, and the main board, I like this main board. Like, I'm not too comfortable with Ponza lists to really change that much around, but I think that the 4th pillage right now is really good. I think that Moon and Pillage win you games, basically. So I've opted to play this list. I'm playing the 2nd mountain, not sure that's correct, but I think that having 2 fetchable red sources with these costs, like with Pillage, Seasoned Pyromancer, Chandra, and Glorybringer, is good. I don't know. If I'm wrong, please correct me. It's just that kind of want to have those through paths and Fields of Ruin and whatnot. Then in the side is where I'm still looking at things. So let me hide the side. I already showed you a bit of it, but let me comment on my side choices, which I'm still not sure. I can take suggestions here, but let's look at them. So first of all, where should I start? I think playing a couple of Cinder Vines is fine. Honestly, the card's decent against control because it makes the long game harder for them, and sometimes you just gotta destroy enchantments. I've also chosen to play 2 Anger of the Gods. I think you need game against decks that go a little bit wider. Maybe this should be Kozilek's Return because of Auriok Champion. But I don't know, I like Anger of the Gods here. What else? Baloth, because black decks and red decks are hard too. I'm choosing Will of Sun and Moon as the graveyard hate, which might be wrong, but I feel like this also beats Mill if that ever comes up. But maybe I should choose. Well, I think Mill's not played enough for me to choose that. So I think that Relic is the way to go, right? That's also just better against where are my relics? Relics just better against control, right? If you ever feel like you need to bring in relic against control, you can bring them in. What else? What else do I think I need? Okay, so now here's the personal choice. I think that this deck should play explosives in the side because this deck has 2 problems. It can't beat Heliod, and it can't beat Shadow. Explosives kinda solves both those matchups. No, it's not like a super silver bullet that just wins those matches straight up, but it's good enough to maybe win those matchups, in my opinion. So I want to test it out. I also had some Flame Slash here, but maybe that's too much. I already have a lot of removal in the main board. But maybe that's not incorrect. And another little spice of mine, which is Quakebringer. Quakebringer has that can't gain life, doesn't die to Skyclave Apparition, and it's honest to god really good against slower decks because it gets turned on by Bone Crusher Giant, and if you're playing against a Path deck and 1/1 in the graveyard, you have Seasoned Pyromants to take care of it. So I don't know, I liked it. I really like this configuration, I think. Is there anything I would cut? I don't know, this looks good enough. So I'm gonna jump into a league here with Ponza. So I'm a bit nervous because it's my first Ponza League. I'm gonna cheat a little. There's this guy. It's really good at playing Ponza. Called Gigi. He streams. He's quite a big streamer. You've probably heard of him. And he has a sideboard guide that's free. It's this page. Teaches you how to play Ponza and has the matchups kind of detailed. It's slightly outdated, but can't really blame the guy. This page is huge. And he's since moved on to playing some Shadow. So yeah, I'm gonna be using this sideboard guide for myself. But yeah, let's jump into a league. League with Ponza. I have played the deck a little bit outside of leagues and outside of stream. I've enjoyed it. Enough that it was my second build on paper. I just bought the Moons recently and I have Ponza on paper. Not all the side pieces that I would like, but the main board is done. And a lot of side pieces I have naturally from playing Burn and being obsessed with buying red cards that sometimes are just all over the place. Right, so let's see how this goes. So as far as I know, game 1, you are trying to find some fast disruption. This is a mulligan. This is a keep, I think. And I think you're supposed to ship away a Windswept Heath. Oh, I'm on the play actually. Oh, this got kind of better. I should have kept the Windswept Heath actually, because it might make it seem like I'm playing Heliod. Okay, I think this is the correct way to play Ponza, which is in the blind. You know, okay, that's a dead Arbor Elf. That's a dead Harbor Elf. Oh, it's a Thoughtseize. Interesting. Takes away my 3-drop. Oh, can I please find Utopia Sprawl here? Glory Banger? That's a terrible... It's a terrible one to draw. This is probably Shadow, right? So I guess I want to keep... him off of Shadow. So not attacking here seems okay. I also have Lightning Bolt. which is technically up because of Stomping Ground. Oh, it's actually Rakdos midrange. Let's kill that right away. Not taking any chances here, so I want to draw land here. Definitely want to draw land here. That was darn nice. So you hit Bloodbraid Elf on turn 3. Oh, you find a Seasoned Pyromancer. Bye bye Glorybringer. I don't even care. And you find a pill. Wow, okay. It's a pretty good top. That's a pretty good Bloodbraid Elf, not gonna lie. Should change the name of the stream. Whoa. Because I'm no longer talking about Modern Horizons. So that could be Jesus fucking Christ. I'm gonna skip. I'm playing Ponza. Alright, this. Ooh. Okay, mister. It's a very aggressive line. Yeah, I don't have a way to beat that. This is good. I can make tokens out of a Seasoned Pyromancer here. Does this change my clock? No, not really. My opponent needs something really good here. Which they might not have, to be honest. Is there any card that my opponent could play here? Oh, there is. Unearth Skelemental, play another Skelemental would win him the game. No, because I can make 2 tokens and stay alive, yeah. Oh, that's exactly what he has. Do I stay alive though? I have to crack this, I go to 10. 2 tokens are not enough, oh no! Oh wow. This costs 5, right? Oh no. Yeah, that's lethal. Wow. Okay, that was a mistake by me. I should have considered this line before attacking. I would have kept a token up, and I can soak up this damage. It's fine. Is Moon good against them? Probably not, right? I guess they can play well enough around Moon. Like Relic might be good. Anger. Oh, actually no. Bailout's probably pretty good, right? I don't think the sideboard guide has a Rakdos midrange. Guess the plan's same as Jund. Well, except not really, because Blood Moon's good against Jund. This is good. This has Graveyard Hate from this is a good hand. Okay, so should I play the Relic first? I think that on the play I want to be the aggressor, right? If he seizes me and takes away the Relic, I think I'm probably fine with that. You might take giant here. Yeah, okay. Elf is a good draw. Elf is a good draw. It's gonna be very hard for him to now play something too relevant, I think. Oh. That's very relevant. Why did he shock though? I think I do this here. No reason not to, right? Even if I draw a Clothes and want to take this long, I think I want to keep his graveyard. And this is the problem with playing Ponza. You keep finding lands. Do I? Oh, I guess I should actually cycle this. Yeah. Can't lie that this is a pretty good top deck. Jesus Christ. I filtered through a lot of lands though, so this might be good. Or okay at least. There's nothing really I can do here. Does he? Oh, that's amazing. He doesn't have anything. Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess I am playing it, right? It's cool when Bailout comes for free, but I don't think there's any reason to not play it here. Yep, the elf is attacking. At this point, the elf is just not needed, right? Still no land. Oh man, a pillage here would be pretty good. Okay, so my opponent just conceded from no lands. Oh, and this game was in the bag. I play Clothes. Wow, it's actually kind of flooding a little bit. I think I like my game plan though. I like my game plan. I think this is more about keeping 7 and playing thing. Guess I can't keep these 7. Fuck. Here's my plan. This is too many threats. Jesus fuck. I'd say goodbye, Bone Crusher. I'd assume that this is a claw. Oh yeah, he kind of can't beat Clothes, right? Oh, perfect. The perfect top deck. This makes red. Always make red with your Utopia Sprawl. That's something that's kind of obvious. If you look at Ponza, it's basically mono red, splashing ramp, Bloodbraid Elf, and sure. Take your pick. Yeah. Ooh, takes Bone Crusher? Really? It's very surprising. Because just gonna pillage your land, to be honest. It's just pretty straightforward. You can function on a low land count. Now, does he have a Thoughtseize here? No. Okay, so I need land here, or else I'm pretty much screwed. Ooh. The worst card I could have drawn. Oh, you know what would be cool? If my opponent plays Liliana and upticks... Oh, he knows about Baloth, though. He can't really uptick Liliana. It's a pretty poor play. Bolting Face is so wrong here. Ah, that's a good draw for opponent. Or a good card for opponent to play. Wait, he didn't play Skeleton. Oh. I guess Skelemental is uncastable here. I'm getting screwed. I did pitch away a land at the beginning. So that's kind of understandable. Okay, so opponent doesn't have cards there. Guess I can kill that here. Opponent can't play Kroxa, or else I just slam down a Baloth. He's gonna name Beast. Oh, I guess my tokens just die, right? Jesus fucking Christ. It's great disruption, buddy, but I still need cards to play. Or lands to play my cards, I guess. I guess Baloth's pretty good. Oh wow, he's playing Rick's Mighty Reveler. This card's actually, in my opinion, this card's really good. Should definitely see more play. The only issue I have with it is that the spectacle enabling is kind of hard to do. I'm playing a Baloth here. He only knows about one, so this might make him play Liliana. Which is good enough, I think. If he has a Liliana in hand and plays it now. Oh, please uptick Liliana. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, hope I don't hit a Seasoned Pyromancer, to be honest. Oh, it's like the best one. And I'm 100% gonna clown my opponent here. I'm gonna attack. Not attacking Liliana, because Liliana's uptick is irrelevant here. Oh, okay, that's my fault. That's my fault. Okay, that's just my fault. I should have kept. Yeah, I should have kept Bloodbraid Elf alive. Oh, I guess that doesn't work. Huh? Maybe I should have just played Baloth and hold up Relic to discard. Yeah, I guess both my losses could have been played better. The first one was actually hard to play around. But this third matchup, I think I fumbled a little bit enough for it to be a loss, apparently. Okay, but live and learn. So don't try to be too cute. Like, I attacked there with Bloodbraid Elf to maybe force my opponent to, like, immediately uptake, like, all smart and shit. But This hand's a mulligan. Hand's a mulligan. I think you have to mull down to like 4, looking for ram spell into payoff. At least game 1, that's how you should play it. Like, this is just too slow against a lot of shit. I would keep this as a 5, shipping Forest and Glorybringer, but ship 2 Glorybringers here. Easy Glorybringer ship. Stomping Ground into Arbor Elf is pretty dependent of my opponent not having removal. Oh, Plains. That's not the color of removal. Unless that's a path to exile on my upkeep. I guess I am, right? I guess I am just shipping these. Oh, wow. It's very aggressive. I guess I want a forest. Okay. It's definitely not what you want from a Seasoned Pyromancer. Milling gas and hitting lands is not okay, but whatever. God damn it. Alright. So these blokes all attack. Opt is good. Opt means no things. Another elf. And honestly, another forest is fine. Just say go. So this should be Azorius. He can play Archmage's Charm, which is actually pretty good. Like, stealing an elf here is pretty annoying. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, playing some Ponza today. Thursdays are now reserved for a little something I want to call getting better at Modern, like in general. So I just play any deck, or not any deck. I have a list of 1 deck per archetype. This is Snap Path, yeah. Which is fine, to be honest. Oh, Snap Opt. It's pretty fine. Yeah, it kills an elf, but I'm okay with it. I'm a-okay with it. Flooding a little bit, but I did multi 5 and I kind of shot a Pyromancer into the battlefield. Ooh. The fairy has to uptick here. Well, that's just incorrect. That's just incorrect. Like, pillaging this might be worse than pillaging this, but this forces his hand now. which means that if he has removal for one of my dudes, I can still kill Teferi. He has path, sure. No, yeah, see. I forced his hand. Now I'm killing Teferi. He might have another, to be honest. Like, this bounce was really weird. Yeah, I'm fine with showing him that I'm in top deck mode. No real advantages gained from. Yeah, it makes sense he would have another. Okay, so now I need. Now I need. Bloodbraid Elf, Glorybringer, Bonecrusher Giant. Any form of gas, to be honest. Yeah, this is bad against Force of Negation, but I can't. I can't not do it, to be honest. Putting the pressure on now. Pretty fine. Good thing is that I've gone through enough bad top decks, so things are looking okay now. This could be a lot of things. Can even be a cryptic command. It can. Wow. Snap path. Okay. Main phase snap path is kind of monka-s, as kids would say. I'm definitely getting lands. Like, Ponza plays so many lands that path is actually a. Oh, okay. This is okay. Shuts down 2 of his lands. I can pay for Mana League. Oh, that's a mistake. That's just a mistake. Like, is he actually fielding? Well, I guess he does need those fields to fix the blue. Bloodbraid Elf is the best top deck now. For obvious reasons. Ooh. Not really. You have 8. Okay, my list has 8 land disruption spells. Like, Blood Moon is a land disruption spell, which is what Ponza is actually about. So honestly, I think that 8 is enough. Things are not looking Millhouse. I need something good. I need a Bloodbraid Elf. That ain't a Bloodbraid Elf. That ain't a Bloodbraid Elf. Ah, this was my turn. He's tapped out. I could pay for Mana Leak. Bloodbraid Elf just gets too much value. Okay, put it on the bottom. This is typically a good sign. I don't have many lands left in my deck, so it's very likely that I'm just drawing gas here. Yes, that is most definitely gas. Ooh, no, I actually can't pass this. Sure. Playing this as burn taught me how to play this, which is you just play it kind of slow later in the game, even though I don't have much time with that Snappy beating me. It's totally irrelevant. I have more than enough red sources to get there in terms of casting costs. So if he upticks Jace on me, I have to be careful. Or rather, depending on what he does here, I have to be careful. So he left a card on top, meaning it should be a land. My opponent could be Omega braining me. Omega-ing brain me? I don't know. It could be trying to outplay me by me going down to 4 is actually relevant. But I don't think I can take that risk. Okay, so now I play Glorybringer. He has to counter this. Can pay for manually. Ooh, that resolves? Wow. Ah. It doesn't, I guess. Okay. So now... That ain't it, that ain't it. I can't wait another turn here. Oh, that was just dirty. I can't pay for Mana Leak. I guess I'm still not dead, technically. But is it actually a land on top? I find that very hard to believe. I have like 2 lands in the deck. I guess... I guess I use that, right? It's annoying enough for my opponent. Still not dead. I can still activate the Seasoned Pyromancer tokens in the graveyard. Alright, making tokens. Jace is almost ready to pop. He needs path, snap path, or double path. He needs to path twice, basically. Archmage's Charm would also work. Alright, now we just gotta play relevant spells. Cloth is pretty darn relevant. I think my opponent... I can't attack with the token because my opponent could be holding Snapcaster. I guess he just snap paths me, right? He didn't steal my token to beat me with it? Oh, that's aggressive. That's just aggressive. Okay, so I need something here to actually be able to... Oh, so it does gain control of that. Okay. So what do I need? I need Bloodbraid Elf. A resolving Bloodbraid Elf is a draw for me. that ain't a chief. I guess I can just concede here. I'm dead to the Jace ultimates. Okay, I was never winning that. Alright, against control, I really like Quakebringer. Kinda like Cindervine's, not gonna lie. What don't I like against control? Guess Lightning Bolt's like the worst card I have against control. It's kind of too low impact. Yes, I also feel weird about siding out Lightning Bolts. That's a first for me for sure. Siding out Lightning Bolts just feels wrong. Alright. Yeah, this is good. Turn 2 Cloths against control is really good. Like, Cloths is the perfect anti-control card because they can't force it and they can't path it. Oh, that's just dirty. That's just dirty. Okay, opponent, that's just dirty. God damn it. Okay, so Cloths is resolving. Getting a forest here is relevant because I want him to counter this, to be honest. Oh, okay. Stomping Face here just to get the stomp out of my hand. Where does this put cards? Second from the top. So it's the top card of my deck is Arbor Elf. Okay, that's cool. Either that or I'm retarded. I guess. I'm not playing Utopia Sprawl. I think my opponent has Force, hence ousting the dude and doing this. Just playing Cloths here. If he has Aether Gust or anything else, I put this on top. I Bloodbraid Elf. I'm in a good spot here. Is this a Teferi? A Narset? Ooh. Didn't you shuffle? Maybe I did. Maybe I'm just dumb. Yeah, I did shuffle. I did shuffle with this, right? Was it a good shuffle? Probably. Probably, yeah. That Narset gon' die. Yeah, I think I want to kill that Narset. Pillage, though. Pillage, though. Oh. I guess it is pillage, though. Okay, I'm comfortable with doing this, to be honest. If he forces this... Yeah, this kind of pushes him to force this. Because it looks like I'm screwed. Yeah, exactly that, opponent. Exactly that. Doubt he has another. Okay, that play turned out pretty fine. That play turned out pretty darn fine. I don't love that just digging, but what did he choose? Did he whiff? Oh, he whiffed. Yeah, I think playing this blood braid off is just correct, right? It has the cascade trigger. If I hit anything, he has some decisions to make. Yeah, that's it's fine enough for me, to be honest. I might be confused, but I honestly think that that's a good call. Like every single thing now costs him 1 life. This is a snapcaster. I don't care. I don't care about this trade. Maybe Clothis should have. I thought about that. Clothis getting opt so that his snapcaster wasn't so good. I ended up not doing it. Still getting hit for 3 though. No, sorry. Still taking damage is what I meant. Alright. He has cryptic command now. That cryptic command could be an issue. But honest to God, with a Clothis on the table, I'm fine with taking the classic burn approach. And he can't even cryptic. Still doesn't solve it, opponent. You are very much dead. A glory banger here would be glorious. Well, live by it, die by it, I guess. I should be careful about turning my Clothis into a creature. As in, I shouldn't do it. He can't really bounce. Oh. That's annoying. That's very annoying. And he's brainstorming. Safe to assume that he will hit land. At least at least with this deck. Oh, son of a bitch. Yes. Okay, so Clothis still does her thing. Honestly, I don't want my opponent to ever timely. Again, that is. Did he Jace uptick me? Oh yeah, he brainstormed, okay. I think playing this is okay. I can't even just... I can't f6 because if he fills my wooded foothills, which, you know, is a legitimate play. Because he, well, not really. It's a bad play, but he could still do it. So what's he doing? Put it on the bottom. Is this at the ferry? Just cracking my... Okay, just at the ferry. So he's bouncing my clothes here, for sure. Yep. One last activation, I guess. I don't care about this. Oh. Fuck all kinds of duck. Do you have force, or do you just essentially lose? Okay then. I'm retarded. I'm retarded. Okay. I tapped double green for that with a clothes in hand. Yeah. I'm not the smartest cookie in the pack. Hey, Tubby Batman. Oh, by the way, Tubby Batman, I never shouted you out. Thank you very much for the sub the other day. Really appreciate the support. Oh. So I'm not only dumb, I'm double dumb because I have the green here. Wow. Okay then. Just giving just giving time to my opponent. No biggie. But yeah, this is part of a new thing I'm trying. I'm trying to get better at other modern decks. And so on Thursdays, I'll be streaming non-burn content. It's basically the idea. Thing way more Delver in modern. I honestly, Delver might be good in modern. Like, it might actually have a build that's good. Like, I think Sprite Dragon and Arcanist are like, and Magmatic Channeler, because it rewards playing a lot of those cards. Jace is very close to popping, but my opponent can't play spells, so like any good spell from me. Come on deck, any good spell. Jesus Christ, that's not a good spell. Yeah, it's probably it's a spell slinger deck, right? That's always fun. Might actually lose here. A Death Teferi is gonna be bouncing my Clothis. So me not playing Clothis on that turn is actually going to be relevant, and I'm going to lose because of that. So, okay, not thinking on the Arbor Elf axis all that well yet. Please something. God. Oh my god. What does Jay's ultimate do? I'm gonna lose. My Magic Online could not handle that. Yeah, I have 2 turns left. This was. It's like. It's weird how much Ponza seems to flood, to be honest. Okay. So what are my outs here? Because I do think I have outs. Do think I have outs. Do I have any outs? I don't have any outs, do I? Do I have any outs here? Let's see if I have any outs here. No, right? I'm just dead. Oh, that was disheartening. I was literally at 1. Guess. Yeah, I guess there's nothing really I can. Because cloth is. Damn it. No, I can't even draw more cards to see if I was gonna win. Okay, okay. So that was wow. That punt actually lost me the game. Okay. So I also have to remember this. I'm no longer a mono red deck. Burn is mono red with extra steps. So kind of need to keep that one in mind when playing these. Because god damn it, that was bad. I'm learning. I'm learning. So Thursdays Thursdays are for learning. And if I've learned anything playing Burn, is that making mistakes is part of learning. And this is a keep. I mean, I get to like. So I do have some insight on Ponza because it's like, okay, so burn has the deck plays differently, but does have some similarities with prowess. Prowess plays differently, but it has some similarities with Obosh. I've played all three, and then Obosh has differences from Ponza, but has also some similarities. So playing Ponza isn't that much of a stretch. I do know that I want to slam Moon. Yeah. The Ponza now is very different from what people used to call Ponza back in the day. Like I think that calling Ponza any Gruul deck that has land disruption is fine. Yeah. It probably ran a lot more. Okay, this is a discard spell. Probably Inquisition. No, a seize. Okay, bye, elf. Yeah, I know. I think I know about that. I never played against it. Was before my time, basically. But I've heard about it. Sounds fun, to be honest. Yeah, simpler times. But like now, with Seasoned Pyromancer and Clothis, you just get to do so many interesting things. Ooh, he took Bone Crusher. Interesting. So my opponent definitely has removal. Well, I'm gonna make you play that removal. Yeah, I get that calling this Ponza is weird for fans of the old Ponza format, of the old Ponza deck, but I don't know. It was the evolution of Ponza. It would be like a person from, I don't know, 20 was Amulet a thing in 2015? Like imagine someone from 2015 saying, "Oh, this is my opponent's spicy." My opponent is spicy as heck. So what am I doing here? Ooh, I have to shock. Am I playing the Blood Moon? Cutting him off of black? I think I am, to be honest. Seems fine. Seems fine. Like, he might have a swamp in hand. Oh. Oh, this is good for me. It is very good for me. It is indeed very good for me. He has no black now. Yeah, Amulet Bloom. Okay, so like the deck probably changed quite a bit, especially in the Field of the Dead days. So I can imagine. But it was like a natural evolution, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of moons. That's a whole lot of moons. Do I want to cast another moon? Probably not, right? Like, if I ever draw a Seasoned Pyromancer, those moons become little elementals. And that is very fine. Still no black. And here comes the Bone Daddy. Don't quote me on that. Interesting. I guess I am fine with Stomping Phase here. And then playing the actual creature. Yeah, this seems fine. Okay, just considered. Cool, so this should be elementals. And against elementals... Heck, Moon was really good. Huh. Bailout's probably very nice. Relic is probably very nice. Flame Slash might be very nice. And then I'm guessing Pillage is kind of bad against him, especially on the draw. Like, Blood Moon felt good, but I'm not too convinced that mooning a opponent that plays a lot of red is that great. Ooh, this is a keep in my book. That's fine. It's like a lava spike. Land. Ooh, okay. So now we have interesting choices. Because I have a Clothis. Hear me out, hear me out. My opponent plays red. He probably has removal. And because I have a Clothis, I think I'm supposed to play Utopia Sprawl here. I think I'm supposed to play Utopia Sprawl here. Yes, the dream of playing Arbor Elf into Bloodbraid Elf is pretty cool, not gonna lie. But I think that's not what I want to be doing here. Thunderkin could be a problem. Thunderkin could be a problem. Yeah. I need to kill that Thunderkin ASAP. Huh. So Cloth is here, does nothing. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be, is how I'm gonna put it. It's gonna be real useful. However, right now, I think this is more useful. I have a fuck ton of mana next turn. I can maybe do things. And honestly, I'm not above double blocking the Awakener. Not above double blocking the Awakener. This is a spicy deck. Yeah. I know about the turn 2 4 mana line, but yeah, I do think that against this type of deck, you kind of don't risk it. Huh. Can I Bloodbraid Elf and Clothis? No, right? Honestly, I'm gonna do this. Oh, that's a very good draw. So that's actually so good. I want to put pressure on the board is my reasoning here. Is this on my upkeep? Ooh, yeah, that's very good for me. This is just a big swing. Okay, so my opponent's dead next turn for sure. He still might kill me, by the way. If he plays land, lightning skelemental, I die. That will bring my loss to lightning skelementals up to 3 today. Yowza. I actually just died. Why? Chat. I need some help here. I need some help here. Why am I so bad at playing against Skelemental? It's gonna kill me now. No! Oh my god. Like, one blocker was all I need. Yeah. I know how to play it. I know how to play it. Like, I need to... like... I need to not swing with more than I need to clock him. That makes sense. Yes, third time today, because first match was against Rakdos Midrange. Game 1, he went another Skelemental, attack for 12. And if I left one blocker up, I would have won. And then game 3... Yeah, exactly. The extra elementals didn't change my clock. I guess it's just... I'm just too used to playing with Burn, where like... You don't get that. Like, your board's never strong enough that you get to care. Ooh. I like taking this chance. Do I though? What does this do? I guess Moon. Ooh, but Sprawl on the ground is very bad with Moon. What is my play here? Do I mold this? I'm gonna keep. I think this is a fine keep. I'm going for the elf play here. I get to Bone Crusher a threat if he plays it on turn 2. If I don't draw land to play a Moon. His mana base is not ideal, so... Okay, fetch for Swamp. He's fixed. Moon is useless now. This is very awkward. My opponent's not thinking, what's this idiot thinking? He kept a one-lander. And now he ships Utopia Sprawl. My hand just doesn't do anything. Maybe I did lose to myself here. Ooh, although if he ever hits me with Skelemental, it's gonna hurt him. So my Blood Moons are now discard fodder. What's this? What's this? Okay, opponent. I take those. It makes the Skelemental discard less good, but I take those. I definitely take those. Can I attack with my Bailoth? Thank you. Okay, so thanks to my opponent's misplay, I'm in a actual decent spot. Come on, play Skelemental. Play the big one. Yes. I'm gonna let it hit. I think this is the correct play, right? Now I have another one. Okay, green gamers. Bailout's actually pretty cool. Still not lethal. Oh, in the moon, probably not. Okay, Bailoth was pretty cool. Pretty cool, dude. Gonna keep Bone Crusher up in case. Now I don't want to get hit with things. Okay, he knows. He knows. All right. So I feel like my opponent gave me a freebie there. Like I threw a game against him, he threw a game against me. You know, just a bunch of idiots playing against each other. Alrighty then. I have to say, Ponza matches are just so much longer. How do people do this? How do you eat between rounds? Is that why you're not fat like me? I think I'm supposed to keep this hand. Am I supposed to keep this hand? Am I supposed to keep this hand? What does the Ponza guide say? I don't think I'm supposed to keep one-landers like this, even if the hand's okay. Yeah, I like this much better. Just chip away a land. Maybe not that one. Maybe the one that's off color. Ooh, bubble. So discard spell into removal is what I don't want to see here. I think that's exactly what I'm going to see here. Oh no. Bye-bye Utopia Sprawl. Now my elf's gonna get it. This should be Shadow, right? The second elf is kind of welcome, but not really. Guess it's something to do next turn. Yep, he just has removal. I would guess he has removal here. Or just a Tarmogoyf. Oh. This might be Lur's Jund. Might still be Shadow, but I don't think Shadow would play Seal of Fire like that. Okay, so now I have Seasoned Pyromancer, which kinda sucks, not gonna lie, because like Bloodbraid Elf is a good draw. I don't want to ship it. Let's see. Oh, sweet. Merciful Lord. So can I assume that one just doesn't have anything else? Nice. I do have to shock myself. Yeah, I don't think that holding here is good. Like, not even set to hit the land for Seasoned Pyromancer. For Bloodbraid Elf, I mean. I'm just supposed to do this. Yeah, that's a good Seasoned Pyromancer draw. Because I have removal now. Even if he kills my Seasoned Pyromancer. I'm like not in a terrible state. Is this Allura's Placilifire? Wouldn't be surprised if this were Allura's Placilifire. Or just a thick Goyf. Oh no, it's just a Renin 6. Really? Really, opponent? Oh, okay, okay. That's a problem. It's very much a problem that I will have to deal with now. He locks. I think killing that now is to my best interest. Because now I played this as a hasty kamikaze on Renin 6. And I get to play Clothis next turn. No lures here would be great. Oh, another Scourge. That's a problem. That is indeed a problem. This trades, but he can't find gas again. If he finds gas, I lose this game. I don't think playing Clothis here is good. It's not fast enough to beat that. Okay, that works. Oh no, he can ping me. Oh, that's a punt. He can ping me with Renin 6. He didn't see it. I didn't see it. Land is fine, but it has to be a non. Oh, I want to draw a mountain. A forest works too. What's happening here? Why did he tap that? What's happening? What's happening? Seriously confused. Did he forget? Oh yeah, he didn't reveal Luris, so did he forget about Luris? Is that's what's happening here? Yeah, I honestly like this line. Should I attack here? Feels too greedy, right? Feels way too greedy. I think I'd rather just pass with Lightning Bolt up. And if he gets super freaky with his life total, I can just punish him. That's a cycle. Do I want to kill that now? I want to shoot him. Probably want to shoot him. Probably playing Shadow, but like, I don't mind this at all. Now I play Clothis. It's very hard for him to actually beat me. I hope. I'm assuming he drew a land. There's no reason for him not to play what he drew. Or attack. Okay. Oh, we were winning either way. Alright, so this is Jund Shadow. Jund Shadow. We want Bailoff for sure. We want Engineered Explosives. And don't think I want Quakebringer. What am I taking out? Okay, so here's the awkward part. With Engineered Explosives, Bloodbraid Elf is not great. Not great at all. Against Shadow, is Pillage good? No, against a Renin 6 deck, Arbor Elf is just not great. So I guess I just bring in Filler. I guess this is fine. Just bringing in Filler against those. Relic is fine because he's playing Lurrus. I'm assuming he forgot to reveal Lurrus. Either that or he's playing something in the main board that doesn't allow for it. Which could be anything, to be honest. Sounds very good. Yeah, he forgot to reveal Lurrus, I'm assuming. Oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. If he has the discard, he has the discard. I can't play around it all that well. Opponent mull to 5, which might mean he doesn't have a discard spell. Please don't have a discard spell. He does have a discard spell. So Clothis goes bye-bye. I would have honestly taken Clothis. Is that wrong? Like, I feel like Clothis resolving early in the game is very hard for my opponent to deal with. Maybe he has another here. Just plays a Tarmogoyf. No, he's bolting himself to play a Shadow. It's very bold. A 3/3 Shadow is not big enough. I guess it's just big enough, right? So my opponent's actually not gonna get punished for that. Wow. Explosives here would actually be a good draw. Oh, it's the banger. Okay. So I have this pretty sweet curve. Does it have another shadow? No, Thoughtseize. Okay. He discards Seasoned Pyromancer. It's risky. That's very risky. Oh. Heck yeah. I want mana here. Am I a mana boy here? No, I don't need mana here. Alright, can I do things with 5? I guess asking mana to Stomp Face is the same thing as doing it here, right? Guess this way he can play Swift Spears on his first main phase. It's fine. Yeah, see, Ren 6 is so bad in aggro. Like, what the heck? Honest to God. So bad in aggro. He didn't even activate Seal of Fire. Hey, look! Explosives beat Shadow. Who would have guessed? Oh my god. I'm used to those effects being on the upkeep, so I forgot about them. No biggie. No biggie. Okay, my opponent just conceded, okay. What a punt. Hey, Ponza allows for you to... Oh, I guess I sometimes punt with burn, don't get punished. But with burn, it's usually just like very specific things that I didn't think about. Missing a Glorybringer attack seems very important. But hey, I beat Shadow, which is supposedly a really bad matchup. I guess game 1 I got lucky because he had a really slow start, but then again, that's precisely what Ren 6 does for the deck. Makes the deck slower. I don't love this. Oh shit. And all my cards are card advantage, and Moon is just Moon. So maybe Bloodbraid Elves a bit too far off of being cast. Prowess. Okay, so Utopia Sprawl first. Gotcha. And wow, this moon isn't even good. Okay. This is actually a matchup I've been super curious of playing with non-burn, because with burn this is just easy. Just kill all their creatures. But with not a burn deck, honestly curious. Come on, give me a land. If I get a land, I might play Seasoned Pyromancer. Just gum up the board. Very poor draw for my opponent. Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. I think I am playing Seasoned Pyromancer here. I think a forest. No, I'm not. I'm not casting that Blood Moon. It's too bad. Blood Moon is just too bad against these guys. Guess Arbor Elf's getting cast for free. Okay, I like this. So, okay, they play the land, they crack it immediately. Are they gonna play that light up the stage? I feel like correct line is kill Seasoned Pyromancer, attack. And with this light up the stage here, I'm kind of I'm not forced to, but I'm persuaded to block so he doesn't cast that. Oh, he's a very cheeky opponent. Here's what I'm gonna do. Put all in front of one of them. I know what you're thinking. One bolt and this trade is just awful. Yeah, okay. This trade is awful anyways. But I guess I should have chumped the other one. I'm gonna kill it, so it's fine. Plays this light up the stage now. 2 lands, okay. Alright, let's see what we have here. Utopia. The pillage is bad now. So do I have mana here to play 2 things? I have 4 mana, so I can play 2 things. So I guess I'll play Sprawl here, naming red. And I play this tapped. And I stomp one of these. That's how you play this, right? Yeah, as a protection, sure. Okay. I think that's how you're supposed to play that. Maybe I should have stomped earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have played Season Pyromancer ended up not being great. Maybe I should have just stomped. This is definitely a matchup I have no clue how to play. From the I guess stomping a threat's always a good option, right? Am I just dead here? Most likely. Ooh, that's a threat. Ooh, that's a good draw. Kill that. And get to play this. Like, pillage is so bad here. Those are actual good draws. My opponent's gonna bolt me now. I've been on the other side of this. Feels great from the other side. From this one, not so much. Oh, that's a big boy. It's a very big boy. Why am I not F6ing? I can't do anything. I'm gonna chill and look at card prices. Time spiral foils are super expensive and crashing, which is super funny to me. I have to jump here, and my opponent knows that, the son of a bitch. Oh yeah, okay. He has lethal. Why doesn't he just do it? Okay. So explosive seems really good. Blood Braid Elf seems bad. Flame Slash and Anger of the Gods seem really good. Ballad seems really good. Cindervine seems weirdly good. And then Blood Moon and Pillage seem poor. Oh, I can even board them all out. Oh, Relic seems actual. Relic actually seems nice. Oh, almost my entire sideboard came in, and I don't even think it's wrong. Kinda dig that. Alright, so we need this win to go even on the league. Arbor Elf's the worst one to... Arbor Elf is the worst one to have. The worst ram spell, because it ties to everything. However, might be able to... If he spends his turn one killing my Arbor Elf, I'm not too upset. Because I can have removal for days. You blaze a creature here. What should I do? Guess I fetch a tapped land, I untap it, I bolt the creature, and then I play the other elf. Okay, so it removed my dude. Do think that the play here is fetching a tapped land. Yeah, this is tapped land city. That anger might come in useful later on. Just gonna kill that Sprite Dragon. And if you wanna fight me on this, I'll still kill that Sprite Dragon. Holy shit! That was a hand for my opponent. Holy shit! That was. It's Lava Dart to save the Sprite Dragon. No. God, he cut me off of double red. Oh wow. Oh wowie. I don't think I'm supposed to fetch a shock with that one. Flame Slash here would be good. I think I'm just dead, to be honest. I think I'm just dead. Yeah, Lava Dart into double mutagenic growth was just brutal. Oh, another one of those sons of bitches. I need to draw a mountain. I can even draw a fetch land. The one that I couldn't draw. I'm dead, right? I'm just dead through the air. Wow. Okay, so this matchup's actually pretty hard. Oh no. Not Chalice. Explosives would have been cool. Okay, so let's review the league real quick. First match against Rakdos Midrange, I threw the game. I deserved the loss. Then against Blue-White Control, quite hard, especially because I'm not respecting that matchup in the side. I also punted a little bit in game 2, and definitely cost me a win. And then Rakdos Elementals, my opponent was sloppy, like me. Then against Jun Shadow, a pretty surprising win. And then against Blue Red Prowess, I just lost miserably. Alright, so this felt, the main board felt quite good. Like, what game 1s did I lose? Against Prowess. But I'm already up on removal. I just think that game 1 against Prowess was poorly piloted by me. Huh. Here in the side, I want to review the side. I don't like this. I don't like this sideboard of 2s. Like, this deck doesn't have that much card advantage. So I want to review the sideboard. That will be for next Thursday. For now, this is it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.